Hello, ladies and goddesses, and men, if you're watching this, I think it'll be a good idea for you too. My name is Mia. I am a Reiki practitioner, a mental health professional, and a tarot card reader, and also a candle maker. I'm here today to teach you about the spirituality of our menstrual cycles. So one thing that I'll say is if my energy is a little bit low, please forgive me. I'm wearing my red today because I'm actually on my menstrual cycle. So I'm paying homage to us and the sacredness of our womb space, okay? So I'm going to start this off with splitting. So we already know that every 28 days we bleed again. I want you to also note that every 28 days, the moon completes a cycle. So back in ancient times, our ancestors, the women in the village, when they were bleeding or when they were about to begin bleeding, they went off into the forest with either by themselves or with other women to bleed. I want to say in peace, in a way, to bleed and menstruate and release all that no longer serve them in peace. It's also important to notate that this always happened on the full moon because all of our cycles came on the full moon before there was electricity and such. So around this time, this is when the women of our ancestors went off to dream because as you know, and post a comment in the comment box below if this resonates with you. But around the time that our cycles are about to come on or when it's on, our dreams are so potent and lucid, okay? So at that time, they will receive information needed for the village to continue to thrive in society. That was their jobs, okay? So I'm going to split this explanation up about our menstrual cycle into 28 days. So let's split 28 by 7, right? So we have 4 cycles, which is kind of what we go through. We have 4 phases of a cycle. So let's start with ovulation, which is my favorite. So ovulation is when our breasts get bigger. It's when our bodies are open and willing and ready to get pregnant. It is when we are attracted to men with bigger shoulders and a more symmetrical face. It is when we're a little bit more juicy. It is also considered the summertime. So we're going to split these phases up into the seasons as well, because you'll see. So ovulation is like the summertime. You're hot, you're ready to go. Your body is like, get me pregnant. Your estrogen's high. So you're just really attractive to the opposite sex. And that is the perfect time for you to get things done. That is when you're out there. That is when you are executing your manifestation. That is around the time of the new moon. Okay. So then after the summertime, what happens after summer? It's the fall. So that's the PMS stage. And honey, I'm here to tell you, honey, that is my hardest phase, the PMS phase. So if you think about the fall, what happens in the fall time? The leaves begin to change. The leaves begin to fall. The leaves begin to crumble and die, okay? So what is happening on a spiritual level is we just came from being very external and ready to interact with the world to retreating inward, okay? So what's happening on a spiritual level is the veil between the spirit realm and the third dimension realm that, our bodies are physically manifested on. It becomes thinner and thinner. So I want to throw a little side note in here. It is important for us women, to put things into context. It's important for us to know that we are very spiritual by nature. Our womb literally manifests souls from the spirit realm into our bodies, and we push it out through our vagina. So it's very important to know how spiritual we are, because we are spirits living a human experience. And this is why I call myself a goddess, and all other women that I know, we are goddesses, because we are truly and literally so divine. I'm here to teach you more about that. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The fall, you're starting to retreat inward. So you notice that when you're PMSing, you become a little bit more moody. On a subconscious level, you are trying to push people away. You really are. You might get into more arguments with your partners. You might just be real irritable to be at work, because back in the day, women didn't really work like that. So this is very unnatural, the society we live in, and how we're expected to do all this stuff that men do when they're not going through all of these changes all the time that we're going through. But that's for another video. So yeah, it's really, really hard. You're becoming more and more in tune with the spirit world, and you need time to really retreat inward so that you can prepare for the winter time. So what is the winter? I am in the winter within myself right now. That is the time when you are literally bleeding, when you are letting go of what no longer serves you. It is important for me to notate that in the PMS phase, which is the fall, that's when everything in your life that is not really working, the things that you were able to ignore, you can no longer ignore them. It becomes very annoying because your subconscious mind is trying to let you know what needs to be let go of. And then when your cycle comes on, that is when you were letting go of it. So you're letting go of it in your blood, you're letting go of it in your life in general. At that time when you were bleeding, the veil between the spirit realm and the realm that we physically manifest on, the third dimension, is almost non-existent. This is a very spiritual time for us. This is why we tend to want to be alone. It's kind of like a grieving phase. What happens in the winter? You genuinely retreat inward. You kind of like hibernate in a way. So either it manifests as such as we don't really want to be bothered, but why? We're like hibernating. We are grieving. We are releasing all of the things that no longer serves us. And I want to throw this out there. It's if I'll be honest, we're so multifaceted. So we literally exist in 12 dimensions simultaneously. So I'm trying to speak about the spiritual aspect, but there's also so much happening in the emotional body and the mental body and the physical body. Like our bodies is literally grieving the fact that we're not pregnant. Like when your period's on, your body's like, oh, you're not pregnant, I'm just gonna cry. So that manifests in our true emotions, and that's why we're so emotional at that time. And our partners may wonder why we're so chaotic. On a subconscious level, we're really going through a lot and we're trying to push them away. We need comfort, but we also need to be alone, so it's challenging. But okay, wintertime, you're bleeding, you're hibernating. And then what happens after the wintertime, after you let go of what no longer serves you? The spring. The sun always shines again, which is a beautiful thing. So that is when your cycle goes off and you're like, yes, I can finally have sex again. I can start organizing things. I can start to plan and just put, I can really just like start anew. It's like a new beginning. What happens in the spring? The flowers begin to grow, we start to plant seeds, and it's a beautiful thing. And honestly, that's what's happening within us every single month. So every 28 days, we are literally in 4 seasons. Like, I'm from Philadelphia. I live in Texas right now. So here, even though it's the fall, it's pretty sunny out there and it's almost 80 degrees today. But back in Philly, where I'm from, we really experienced the 4 seasons. So understand that as women, we go through the 4 seasons within our own cycles, and that our menstrual cycles are very spiritual. And if we aligned the way that we operate in our day-to-day lives, we can really work in collaboration with our menstrual cycles, except going against the grain. Some ways that I do this. I do my best not to date when I'm PMSing, because obviously you subconsciously want to push people away because you're going through a lot, So I try not to date when I'm PMSing. I also schedule more time for myself. When I'm ovulating, that's when it's like, okay, I'll make all the plans, I'll do all the things. And yeah. So I can go into this a little bit more. This is part 1. I hope that you get a gist of what I'm saying. I want you to know how divine you are, how much of a goddess you are. I want you to know that your ancestors, when the women were considered shamans, which we are, we were really highly revered in society as like the psychics and the mystics of the society. We were highly influential and highly valuable because we are literally bringing spirits from the spirit realm into our wombs and pushing them out of our body to have their own physical experience. We are very spiritual in nature. I am someone who's very in tune with that aspect of myself. And I pray that from watching this video, you realize how sacred you are and how you should treat your menstrual cycle like a gift. Although I understand having cramps is really, really annoying. But you know what? Those cramps are telling you to slow down and sit down. Have a seat. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, okay? So yes, my name is Mia. I am a healer. If you need any energy cleansing tools, if you need a tarot card reading, you need guidance on anything, my tarot card readings, me being a therapist, I also include like practical counseling and ways to take steps to manifest what you desire. And if you also want to do more manifesting and just bring sacred healing space, I highly recommend for you to order a candle from Flames of Love Bougies. Bougies means candles in French, and it is my candle making company, infused with aromatherapy, all natural essential oils, herbs, colors. Everything is handcrafted and made by me. Everything is made with love and magic, everything that you need. So the link is going to be below to where you can purchase. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, any areas and topics that you want me to cover, please comment below as well, and I got you. All right, thank you for listening, and I pray that you have a lovely day.